This is what a transgender woman looks like. This is what a transgender woman does not look like. A transgender woman in Thailand is called a ladyboy. And when I visited Phuket last month, I was informed that there are ladyboys in almost every single bar, restaurant, and tourist attraction. It is said that ladyboys are found anywhere there are tourists. I had heard many stories from my friends who had partied hard in the Patong Strip, Bangla Street. I can guarantee one of them will fool you and you won't even know it, my mate warned me before I jet-set it off. There's at least one in every bar. I now have only myself to blame, as upon retrospect, the warning signs were all there. Big feet, broad shoulders, and thick veins are normally your best bets. But the eyes normally overlook these subtle hints, instead diverting them to attractive facial features, perfect makeup, thin legs, and surgery-enhanced breasts. But before I get into the nitty-gritty details, allow me to rewind. The beginning of the adventure started about 7 hours earlier during a poolside happy hour at the Mercury Phuket Patong. Nearly every Thailand bar and hotel has a daily 2-for-1 happy hour, which, unlike its name suggests, lasts for several hours. I took advantage of this deal everywhere I stayed at, including the Mercury Phuket Patong, the All Seasons Nai Harn Beach Resort, and the Ibis Phuket Kata. All are fantastic hotels for tourists looking for a nice place to stay near a beach without breaking the piggy bank. For example, a couple staying at the All Seasons Nai Harn Beach Resort can get ocean views, a comfortable room, and breakfast for as little as $50 per night. The All Seasons Nai Harn Beach Resort also has the added comfort of being located well outside the hustle and bustle of Patong, but still within a $10 cab ride. Mercury Phuket, on the other hand, is walking distance to Patong's main strip, and while prices start at about $80 per night, its cost still beats any comparable Australian hotel hands down. And if you worried about traveling to Thailand because of the Bangkok-based protests, you seriously missing out. Red-shirted supporters of ousted former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra have been protesting in Bangkok, demanding the military-backed government hold another election. The protest free. Phuket is nearly a 10-hour drive away from Bangkok, and the beachside locals are some of the most beautifully natured people I have ever met. Happy hour deals aside, in general, a beer in Thailand generally costs about $2.50 in a bar, and less than $1 from a grocery store. In some bars, you can also challenge the barmaid to a board game, with the loser to buy the other a drink, something that ended up costing me a lot of money. Decent-sized meals from reputable eateries, on the other hand, cost between $5 and $10. The street vendor food is not for the faint-hearted, as my fellow traveler found out, who was eagerly chomping down on a chicken shish kebab in drunken bliss one night until I pointed out that it was actually 6 Pope's noses, chicken bums, all lined up in a row. Anyway, back to how I was fooled. When I say fooled, I don't mean that LED to physical contact, more like money loss. I was just an observer, or a quiet admirer, if you will. As we tipped a group of 8 dancers several hundred baht to keep dancing for our table, we took bets on who were the girls and who were the boys. Like me, all at the table were fooled thinking the majority were, well, girls. So we asked the kind barmaid to settle the score. All ladyboy, ladyboy all. She half replied, half exclaimed. As the saying goes, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Feeling rather foolish, my chicken bum eating travel companion and I decided to venture into a seedy expat's bar for some advice on how to tiptoe through the ladyboy minefield. At the bar we met a man who referred to himself only as Strider. He was your typical 50-something divorced Australian male who travels to Thailand with enough money to find a younger girlfriend. Unfortunately for Strider, his Thai girlfriend of 6 years had recently left him for a richer Swiss man. Fortunately for us, however, he was more than happy to offer some good tips on how to spot the ladyboy. Firstly, he said, the majority can't dance to save their life because they still have the male gene. Secondly, and probably most importantly, they will always fidget with their hair because they are not used to it and are very self-conscious about it. Strider said bigger feet and broad shoulders were the next best giveaways, but warned to avoid relying on spotting Adam's apples, as many had undergone surgery to have the bone shaved back. There are ladyboys virtually in every bar here because, put simply, females make more money than men, he explained. The only options for some men are to become drivers or work in the fields, whereas ladyboys can make a lot more money and have a lot more fun. taking heed of his advice, we had the time of our lives for the next 5 nights straight, and avoided coming unstuck again. As a personal postscript to this story, I was sitting in the airport ready to board my V Australia business class sleeper's lounge on the flight home. Before nodding off, however, I decided to have a brief peek at the daily newspaper of the untamable little beast of a city I was departing. Blasted across the front page of the Phuket Gazette was the headline, "Ladyboy Fraudster Purchases Hard Time." Well, at least I'm not the only fool, I reassured myself. A quick word about the term ladyboy. It is common in Thailand and some parts of Asia. However, most people in the West regard the phrase as offensive and prefer the term transgender woman or trans woman. In general, the origins of the word ladyboy come from American soldiers who used to refer to Thai prostitutes as ladyboys after they came across the term while fighting in the Vietnam War. Some Americans mistakenly believe the term to be derived from a Korean word meaning female soldier. Others believe it evolved from a combination of lady and cowboy. Now, for those of you concerned about my safety traveling in Thailand alone as a male, I can assure you there is no need to worry. Thailand is one of the safest countries I have ever traveled to. So much so that it is possible to leave your laptop out on a table at a beer and soccer bar while you go to the toilet. Locals are not known to be aggressive and fights are rare. Tourist areas are patrolled by police, and the worst that will happen is you may be hassled by the occasional tout or hawker, which is true of most capital cities around the world. I must stress, though, that despite the general safety of the country, you should exercise common sense, especially if you are drunk. For example, do not accept drinks from strangers. Keep your valuables secure and stick with reputable taxi companies such as the ones at the airport. Of course, petty crime does occur, particularly in tourist hotspots. So keep your wits about you and don't be too flashy with your cash or expensive jewelry. Overall, however, I have never felt unsafe in Thailand, even walking alone at night. This is due to the fact that Thais are extremely polite and respectful towards elders and foreigners. This respect is seen in the way that they address older people and foreigners with honorific titles and by offering them a seat whenever possible. Even young children are taught to show respect to their elders and foreigners. Also, unlike many other Asian countries, Thai people are naturally smiley and enjoy having a laugh. They are also very friendly and welcoming towards foreigners and always willing to help out in any way they can. Additionally, Thailand is a very Buddhist country and the religion promotes peace, harmony, and helping others. This is reflected in the behavior of the Thai people, who are known for their hospitality and friendliness. If you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy watching these videos. Thanks for watching and see you soon.